In this video, we're going to talk about Linux web hosting. And while I make this website in the background, I'll walk you through what Linux hosting actually is, why it's so common, and whether it's the right choice for your small business website, blog, or really any type of site you're thinking about starting. And if you're interested in actually building your own site, I'll leave a link down in the comments to a full step-by-step tutorial that shows you how to do exactly that. So, let's break down Linux web hosting, because if you've ever looked at hosting plans, you've probably seen the word Linux pop up a lot. And if you're like most people, you probably just kind of skimmed over it without thinking too much about it. The good news is, you really don't need to know much about Linux itself to use Linux hosting. It's basically just the type of operating system the server is running. Kind of like how your computer might run Windows or Mac OS, web servers can run Linux or Windows. The reason Linux hosting is everywhere is because it's super reliable. It works with almost every website platform out there, and it's cheaper for hosting companies to run. That's why the vast majority of hosting plans, whether it's from Bluehost, SiteGround, HostGator, or just about anyone else, are Linux-based by default. It's not something you really have to think about or configure yourself. It just runs in the background while you focus on actually building your site. If you're using WordPress, Linux hosting is definitely the way to go because WordPress was actually built to run on Linux servers. Everything just works smoother, from installing plugins to making sure your site loads fast. And since most small business websites and blogs run on WordPress, Linux hosting ends up being the default choice for the vast majority of people. Now, there is such a thing as Windows hosting, but that's usually only needed if you're running some kind of specialized software that specifically requires Windows servers, which most people aren't. Unless you already know you need Windows hosting, Linux is almost always going to be the better option. It's faster, cheaper, and just overall easier to work with. That's why hosting companies that focus on beginners, like Bluehost, all use Linux hosting for their basic plans. Bluehost has been around for over 20 years, and they're officially recommended by WordPress, which is a huge deal if you're planning to build your site on WordPress, like most people do. They're known for being super beginner-friendly, but they also have great performance and 24/7 support. So if something ever goes wrong, you're not stuck trying to figure it out on your own. If you do decide to go with Bluehost, definitely check out the coupon link in the description because it'll automatically apply a discount that saves you over 80% off their regular pricing. There's no code to enter, just click the link and the lower price shows up when you check out. It's a really easy way to save money right from the start, and it's part of why so many people, from first-time bloggers to successful online businesses, go with Bluehost. Of course, Bluehost isn't the only option. If you're looking for something with a little more emphasis on speed, SiteGround is another really solid host, especially if your audience is mostly in one region. They're known for having some of the fastest loading times. Then there's HostGator, which is one of the cheaper options, though you might have to sacrifice a little on customer support depending on which plan you pick. The bottom line is Linux hosting is the standard for a reason. It's reliable, it works with almost any website platform you'll ever need, and it's usually the cheapest option. Whether you're starting a personal blog, a small business site, or even an online store, there's a 99% chance Linux hosting is exactly what you want, even if you never see the word Linux again after you sign up. If you want to see exactly how to build your website from start to finish, I'll leave a link in the comments to my full tutorial where I walk you through everything step by step. And don't forget to check out that Bluehost coupon link in the description to lock in that discount and get your hosting for way cheaper than usual. Thanks for hanging out while I build this site, and I'll see you in the next one.